The Walt Disney Company loved to be the first to set a trend. And what better way than to combine a classic children's tale with the Headless Freaking Horseman? The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad does just that. And here are 13 things that you didn't know that proves it. Number 13. Brom Bones later became the inspiration for the character of Gaston in Beauty and the Beast. Number 12. The Toon Patrol villains featured in Who Framed Roger Rabbit were designed and patterned after the weasels in the Disney version of The Wind in the Willows. Number 11. The idea to produce a film based on The Wind in the Willows was suggested to Walt Disney in 1938. Since the novel featured anthropomorphic animals, it was thought that animation would be the ideal medium for an adaptation. Disney secured the rights to the novel that same year. Number 10. In The Wind in the Willows, Angus McBadger tells Ratty and Mole that something has to be done about Toad as he's spending too much money. This was a sly dig at Roy O. Disney, who was always complaining to the animators about his brother Walt for spending too much money. Number 9. To save money on animation, Katrina was modeled closely after Grace Martin from Make Mine Music. She also greatly resembles Slewfoot Sue from the Pecos Bill segment of Melody Time. Number 8. The short story briefly compares the lanky Ichabod Crane to a scarecrow. The comics character Scarecrow, a Batman villain, seems to be partly based on Ichabod Crane and resembles him in appearance. His real name is Jonathan Crane. Number 7. The Magic Kingdom Park at Walt Disney World has a Sleepy Hollow restaurant inspired by this film. The exterior of the restaurant is a replica of Sunnyside, Washington Irving's Dutch-style mansion on the Hudson River in Tarrytown, New York. Number 6. There are 2 hidden Mickeys in the road just after Toad first sees the motor car. Number 5. The Headless Horseman is often cited as being, along with the Horned King in The Black Cauldron and Chernabog in Fantasia, as one of the scariest villains in the Disney canon. Disney still receives complaints from parents about the character frightening their children. Number 4. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad won a Golden Globe Award for Best Cinematography Color. Number 3. Disney film historian and film critic Leonard Maltin, writing in his book The Disney Films, said that the film was one of Disney's most beguiling animated features. The Wind in the Willows in particular has some of the finest work the studio ever did. Number 2. Well-known celebrities Basil Rathbone and Bing Crosby were cast as narrators in order to provide mass audience appeal. Number 1. While the Disney film is a popular and influential adaptation of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow from 1820, it is not the earlier one. It was preceded by The Headless Horseman from 1922, which is an early horror film. There's the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.